Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today?
Spectacular. How are
Whew.
you?
If I was any better, I'd be you, brother. I would be you. We are back from a 1-week hiatus. I made a daring trip down to the epicenter of the Corona world into Florida. I guess that's not the epicenter right now. I guess Texas is like the epicenter currently, right?
Is it?
Is
I thought it was
Texas?
Florida, but I know Texas is right there with them. Like almost all of the South is.
Yeah, Texas, Florida, Cincinnati, Ohio, Hamilton County. We're all just as bad as it can possibly be right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, we have made it back. We have made it back. So that is a good thing. But before we get into all of that fun stuff, Adam, let's talk about the people that support us.
Let's do that. And we'll start with training personally. So, Chris, no matter your level of fitness, whether you're a beginner, you're intermediate, or you're an advanced exerciser, if you'd like to be challenged a little or a lot and you want the benefit of working with a personal trainer without the cost of a personal trainer, then Training Personally with Peggy Edwards is for you, my friend. Training Personally is circuit training for all levels with a personal trainer at your pace, on your time. Peggy Edwards keeps your workouts fresh. She keeps them fun. You'll never do the same workout more than 2 times in a row. And she keeps them safe, and that's most important right now. So by safe, we mean that if you have a little nagging injury, you're coming off a surgery 6 months ago, something like that, she's going to modify everything so that you're working out, you're getting the best workout, you can maximize the time at the gym, and you're staying safe. You're not going to get injured. Also, right now, you're going to stay safe from any sort of a virus or getting sick from anybody else. So if you haven't checked it out yet, get on Facebook, Training Personally with Peggy Edwards on Facebook. Get on YouTube, Training Personally with Peggy Edwards, and watch the video of the procedure to come back into the gym. When you're ready to go back, there's a whole procedure. It's not difficult, but it's there to make sure that everybody is spaced out properly. Nobody's using the same equipment. You have your own equipment for everything. You're staying in one place. Now, normally it's a circuit, so you're going around the whole gym. You're not doing that this time. You're going through the whole circuit in your one spot. All right, so everything's safe. Everything's clean. When you're ready to go, stop in at 3634 Boudinot Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. 45211 is the zip code. And if you have any questions, you can always jump on trainingpersonally.com. You can email Peggy Edwards directly at peggy@trainingpersonally.com, P-E-G-G-Y. Check her out, like I said, on Facebook at Training Personally, or give her a call or text her. Any questions you have, she'll get right back to you. 513-328-0296. That's Training Personally with Peggy Edwards, 513-328-0296.
And even better, with that, if you go in and you mention the Nosebleed Sports Podcast, she's going to give you your first month absolutely free, zero charge, just because you talked about Adam and Chris. I mean, that's all you got to do. Come talk about the Nosebleeds, and she's going to let you have your first month for free. Pretty cool stuff.
That's a deal right there.
It is a deal. So also, we've got a new sponsor this week. We are sponsored by Green Solace. I'm having a lot of fun with the word because I didn't know how to spell it until today. So Green, Greene, Solace, Solace. Check them out on Facebook. It's literally just Green Solace on Facebook, but this is Elizabeth Green. She's a licensed massage therapist helping her clients lead a less stressful and healthier lifestyle. Let her help balance your body and mind. Experience for yourself. Schedule a massage today. You can go to her Facebook page. You can also go to the website to schedule an appointment, which I would tell you what that is, except I don't have it pulled up. It's Green Solace something, but it's on the Facebook. So you can check it out there, or you can make a phone call to 513-702-4178. I've got this all goofed up here. I'm not good with the reads today. Here we go. Greensolace.com. Greene. That's not what it is. That's her website. That's her email address. All right. Well, I apologize. It's the first read. Anyway, you can get a relaxation massage, a focus massage, or this is even better if you're in the Cincinnati area, an in-home massage. She'll do couples massages. She'll come to your house. If you don't have time right now, because the COVID's crazy, right? So she'll come in, clean, cleanse everything around, go into a separate room, rub one down while the other takes care of the kids, swap them out, take care of the other one right afterwards. Boom. Couple's done. Everybody's happy. Now you can go back to spending 4 more months with your kids in your house, being ready to blow your head off. Anyway, that's Greene Solace.
Sorry,
Say it again.
Didn't mean to interrupt. That's a great point, though, for all the parents that have been doing extra parenting and teaching and all that business. You need a little stress relief. You build up that stress in your back and your shoulders. If you're like me, you get tense, you get those knots. Man, it helps to get a massage.
I've never had a massage, so I am going to be. I'm scheduling my first massage ever with Elizabeth, Miss Elizabeth Greene, at the Greene Solace. It'll be my first ever massage. I can't tell you how excited I am.
It's fantastic. You're gonna want to do it once a month. It's good for you.
So she's got the relaxation and the focus, and then you can do the in-home, right? Well, so I said, listen, you're going to help out the Nosebleed Sports Podcast and sponsor us or whatever, come on here. We'll have a little ad for you. My chiropractor says I need a deep tissue massage. I need strong hands. She said, Chris, I got your back, brother. So
literally.
That was good. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call it a relaxation or a focus. I don't know which one it is, but it's going to be focused on one spot, and it's going to be my back, and I can't wait.
I'm excited for you.
There you go. So anyway, that's what we got there. Now on to, right. So it's sports. We all know what's going on in sports right now. You've got golf. The Travelers just went down. That was Travelers Championship. That was good. It made it a little fun, even though it seemed like Dustin Johnson was going to run away with it. Either way, we're not talking about golf. We're not talking about soccer in like Germany or Korea. We're not talking about Korean baseball. We've got MLB and NBA fun for everybody today. But there's still nobody playing any of that. So everybody's still a little worried about the corona. Well, I just came back from the corona capital of the world in Florida. As of this moment in time, I've not gotten my test back. So I don't know. I got tested, though.
Okay.
So my question first off, before I get into my experience, have you been tested for the coronavirus at this point?
Yes, I have.
You have?
Yes.
Oh, man. All right. So number one, have you got your results back?
Yes.
And we all know it was negative, obviously, because you've done nothing. So there's no way that was positive. Am I correct?
It would surprise you what I have done.
Okay.
And that's part. I wanted to get tested before I ever left my house, for some reason. I don't know how I would have possibly gotten it. For 3 months, I didn't leave my house.
Yep.
But in the last, I'd say about 4 weeks or so, after everybody else went out for a couple weeks, I got out. Okay, so especially last like 3, we had a couple. We talked a couple weeks ago about how we had a couple family birthdays in a weekend. We had Father's Day last weekend or 2 weekends ago or whatever. So we got together just like immediate family. And so we had those little gatherings, right?
Yes.
And then I've also been coaching. I've been coaching 2 days a week for the girls at basketball. And that's, we have the mask. You get your temperature taken when you walk in the door. You got to fill out a waiver every time you walk in. those are the things in place. Basically, they want you to do the social distancing thing. It's easier for me to kind of stay back and coach back a little bit when you have, 4 or 5 girls in a group doing something. You try to keep them spread out, but they're in line or whatever, and they just don't really think about it. They're just
they're high school kids. They don't care about it. They don't.
Right.
They could care less about any of it.
Exactly
They're high school kids. It is what it is. It's not nothing bad against them. It's just the persona. When I was that age, I would care less about any of this as well. So understandable.
Yeah. So, but the one thing that would really surprise you, because it surprises me, is so every summer I play in 2 basketball leagues, right?
3-on-3 was supposed to start.
The one was canceled a long time ago. They said, nah, we're not going to mess with it. The 3-on-3 league, though, that was up in the air until just a couple weeks before it was supposed to start. And so then they went ahead and said, yep, we're going to do it. And I was basically undecided about it because I didn't think it was safe. I knew it wasn't safe, to be honest with you.
You still feel like it's not safe.
I still feel like it's not safe. But I didn't want to, I was a coward and didn't want to be the only person in the league that
conversation we had 2 weeks ago
that said I was afraid to play, right?
Exactly.
Or maybe not afraid, just trying to be sensible.
You just don't want to be that guy. You don't want to be that guy.
I don't. And that's the thing. Like they keep, especially the last couple of weeks when all the spikes are going up all over the place and they keep they're like really re-upping on the whole, wear your mask, stay apart, stay social distanced or whatever. Don't go to public places if you don't need to. But all that stuff's open though. It's all still open. There's more stuff opening. That's what doesn't make sense to me the most now is that they're like, okay, it's going crazy again, but we're not closing anything. They're talking about possibly closing some stuff again, but it's not, as a matter of fact, now you're allowed to do this. Now you're allowed to now you don't have to wear a mask at this place if you don't want to. Now you can, you can do, there's like, they're allowing contact in some sports, in like some sports training. And we've already seen for the last few weeks, especially in like college football, guys started getting back. People are testing positive like crazy as soon as they got back to training with each other. That started happening. So anyway, that's where I'm at. And I played the last 2 weeks. I played 3-on-3 basketball.
Now, so they have masks, right? So my work, I still have people that I can't go in and see unless I have a mask on, which perfect. My work has got masks for us. I think we might have talked about this.
Yeah.
So, but they're supposed to be athletic masks. They're like dry fit cloth and easily breathable and all this kind of stuff. Now, did you play ball in a mask?
I did not play ball in a mask. Now, let me tell you, I would have been the only one.
Trust me, I've been playing softball for a month now. I know you would have been the only one.
Yeah. So, but softball is a little bit different than basketball. You can, if you want to, you can do a better job of social distancing while you're playing softball than you can when you're playing basketball.
You can until the game's over and everybody congregates together. But yes, you're right.
Everybody's going through the line, right? Everybody's going through the line, giving the good game kiss, right?
Not supposed to do the good game kiss, but I like the good game kiss as opposed to the good game handshake, which you shouldn't do either. But, they say you shouldn't do either, but everybody does anyway. I still am all about the good game kiss, though. I feel like it should be. In every league after every game.
And that's why it takes so long for the line in any game that you play to go through, because you stop and give each player a warm embrace with a kiss on both cheeks.
Yep. Mwah, mwah.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, it does take a while whenever I play because we've been playing at this park for 20 years. Yeah. I know everybody down there. So, the people you don't know, it's, hey, good game, good game. But everybody you got to dap it up, smack on the head, do all the fun stuff.
Yeah. Yep. So I played. So it's on Wednesdays, it's Wednesday tonight when we're recording this, right? So this after I played the first 2 weeks of the season, a couple of days later, I knew the whole time this was not right. It's not right. You're not supposed to be around each other, and you're supposed to be wearing a mask all the time around people if you are around them. You can't do that when you're playing basketball. So
No.
I knew it wasn't right. I finally decided to grow up a little bit and just tell them, you know what? I was so afraid to let my friends down and all that kind of stuff. But I told him, I was like, I just don't feel comfortable. I don't feel like it's the right thing to do for me. So I resigned.
And nobody had a problem with it, did they?
Nobody had a problem with it.
Not at all. If you don't want to do something, people just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's okay. Don't listen. This is the one thing for me. So I wear a mask into Kroger's when I go into Kroger's. Feel like I'm the only one most of the time. I wear a mask when I go into the pet store to buy my kids crickets. Nobody in there's got, well, actually the pet store's got more masks probably than Kroger's does. But anyway, because there's some weird cat people in there and stuff like that. I wear my mask when I go in places because, I feel like, it's a common courtesy, right?
Yeah.
Common courtesy
to do.
Right. The last thing myself am ever going to do is not do something I think is right just because I'm afraid what somebody is going to say about it. Could care less. If I don't want to wear a mask and I want to hug you and I feel comfortable with that, I'm just going to hug you. I don't care. It is what it is. If I don't feel comfortable, I might put a mask on and be like, it's a perfect reason not to hug him.
I have a quick question for you, though. Why do you feed your kids crickets?
Did I say I feed my kids crickets? My
You
kids
said you
lizard.
crickets for
My
your kids?
lizard. I meant to for my kids lizard. I talk
Okay.
faster. My brain goes faster than my mouth. So as I'm thinking things, my mouth can't get it out fast enough. I have to
Kids had a
go
lizard.
for my kids lizard.
Oh, okay. Maybe you said it and I just missed it. I don't know.
Who
It
knows?
just sounded like you go to the pet store because you can eat crickets. I mean, there's some nutritional value in crickets.
I haven't tried it, but the bearded dragon loves them.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
Was it a regular dragon before, and then he grew a COVID beard, or?
Yeah, it looked just like a dragon.
Okay.
And as the corona happened, we bought him. And when you come to my house and you're a male, you're not allowed shaven for 2 weeks. So he became a bearded dragon. So that's how we quarantine in my house. All males in my house, no shave. Now, my son, it doesn't matter, obviously, right?
Yeah, but he is abiding by the rules. He's not shaving.
He hasn't shaved in 7 years. So
when he's an adult, I would love to see him not shave for 7 years and see what that looks like.
woo, be something else. He's gonna have some peach fuzz though. He's a blonde. You know how them blondes are. They don't grow it out right. So his won't be right. So I want to get to the test. Okay.
Okay.
So you were tested. It came back negative, correct?
Came back negative. I got tested. Now I got tested the Saturday after I played the first Wednesday. So I played again after I got tested. So I want to get tested again. As a matter of fact, I'm getting the antibody test tomorrow. But I want to get the regular test again.
If you're getting the antibody test, you might as well just tell them stick that thing on my nose real quick, would you?
Yeah, I don't know if
they'll do it. Is like where you go to the urgent care, they're just doing them for everybody that walks in. Well, you can't walk in and fine. See, my regular doctor won't do the test. He'll do the antibody thing, but he doesn't do the up the nose thing. Anyway, so I go and got it. I went and got it. The absolute nicest nurse there could have been. Asked me to hold my head. She held my head as I laid my head back. She counted. She was like, all right, here we go. Are you ready? And she was very concerned for me. She obviously didn't realize, she didn't look at how big my nose was. You ain't getting lost up there, or, stick it up there. Let's go.
I'm not going to feel a thing.
I had been talking the whole vacation. I was like, man, it ain't as bad as they're talking about. They got like mouth swabs now. You ain't got to do nothing. This is easy. Well, I was wrong, by the way. That thing still goes to your brain. And then not only do they put it to your brain, but they wait for 10 seconds while it's in your brain and then twist it on its way out. That was phenomenal. And not only do they do that, but they did both of my noses. Did they do both of your nostrils?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
That's the most. That was I had some watery eyes. I did not sneeze. I did not cuss, but my eyes were watering like a son of a gun.
Yep, same. Absolutely the same. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant for sure. But I feel like I can deal with it again, maybe one more time.
That ain't no big deal. You could do it. The NBA players are doing it, going to have to be doing it every single day.
Yeah.
You're not even going to have feeling in your nasal cavity if you're in the NBA and you decide you're going to play.
They're going to have to stop. They're going to have to stop the games from bloody noses constantly.
Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right.
LeBron's got a bloody nose for the 8th straight game.
Yep. That's exactly right. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. So my wife was tested. I was tested. No results back yet. No idea. I have no idea.
How many days has it been?
3. Monday.
Okay.
Monday. So really, I guess technically 2 business days.
Yeah.
They said 3 to 5 is what they told me.
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did it take you to get your results back?
It was, I think 5. It was 5 days.
All right. Well, there you go. I won't have them until next week then.
Well, so I want to hear about the reason that you got your test. What was it like? You went to which part of Florida again? Did you go?
Went to Perdido Key, which that city itself, at the time I went down there, had only had 1 case of the coronavirus. Obviously, that's people that live there. So doesn't count because it's all traveling people. And both cities on either side of it were well into the thousands. So is what it is. Anyway, it was a good time. There was 0 social distancing from anyone except us. We did our best to keep away from as many people as possible. The water was high up on the beach all the time, so there was nowhere to sit on the beach. That's how crowded it was. We put our tent all the way to the very back just to get away from everybody. It was nuts. It was crazy. But it was a good time. There's some good Speedo pictures. If you catch on the Nosebleed Sports podcast, I don't know if it's on. I don't think it's on the somebody said they were on the Facebook, but not on ours, I guess.
Not on that one, but I saw them.
All right. Well, then I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to have my wife transfer him over to the Nosebleed side of things. So if you want to check out me and my brother-in-law in matching Speedos, because that's what I do now. I get matching wherever I go on vacation. Whoever I go with, you're getting a matching Speedo. Okay. So I got 2 new Speedos for this. So a total of 3 Speedos. Got him one, matched him up with one of them. While we were there, he bought 2 more.
Oh my God.
He loved them that much. It's freeing, man. It is freeing. Absolutely. Absolutely freeing. You love Adam, we need to go on vacation together so I can get you a Speedo.
Yeah. You don't even know what it would take to get me to put one of those on. Because I don't even know what it would take.
I'm going to tell you, if there's one person in this world that could get Adam Schmidt in a Speedo, and let's all be honest, there's nobody in this world that could do that, right? There's nobody that could do it.
Correct.
But if there was one, I feel pretty confident in myself. Between me or probably cousin Bob Amanab, who was the first guest, he's probably number 1 on the list. But I feel like I'm a pretty close second. Between the 2 of us, we could probably talk you into it.
I can't ever imagine that would happen. But say that just the 3 of us went on a vacation, right? Just the 3 of us.
Yeah, guys trip, total Speedo time.
Guys trip, yeah. Not on the beach, just together in the hotel room. Just Speedos in there. No.
Speedos and Vespas, baby. I feel like that should be Speedos and Vespas. We just go across country. I'm getting a hold of Bobby.
No, you're probably right, though. If anybody could do it, it's the two of you. But still, nah. So anyway, okay, so everybody was just living the normal life down there. Everybody's just like, whatever. It's, we might get it, we might not, whatever.
There were some masks being worn, but not nearly as much as you see around here. And it's hard to say. It's hard to say what's going on down there at this point in time. There's obviously more positive tests because there's more testing out there, but I believe the percentage of positive tests are what people are afraid is what people see spiking. And that's what they're more worried about. Not necessarily the number of people that are positive, but the percentage of tested people are going up. So, we'll see. It's interesting. I was kind of hoping that summer would come and it'd be 90 some degrees and absolutely nobody would be getting this anymore. But here we are.
The opposite effect.
Yep. Here we are.
Everybody, it's time to go outside. Let's all have parties.
That's exactly right. Let's go get it done. I got no problem with going outside and having a little party. I'm totally good with that. But seems like this might be a little crazier than we thought it was from the beginning.
Yeah. So if you're listening or if you're watching, just inconvenience yourself a tiny bit and wear a mask and try not to go places.
It really ain't that big deal to wear a mask. Now, when I play softball, do I wear a mask? No. Afterwards, I'll be honest. I go up there, I have my wings, have a beer. I'm not wearing a mask. I'll be completely honest with you. I don't do it then. Probably should, but I don't because I'm already disgusting at that point in time and sweaty. And I've already licked my fingers like 400 times from pitching, spit in my glove. I do so many terribly nasty habits. Now that I think about it, my baseball/softball habits are totally against everything that Corona is all about. Completely against it. I got a towel that I keep on my side. I'm wiping my sweat off my face, stick it right back down there. I take the ball. I wipe the ball off with the same towel. I mean, it's anybody that grabs that ball has got whatever I got. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep. That happened the first week that we played basketball. There was a guy I was playing against. He missed a layup or something and immediately licked his fingers. Like that was the reason he missed the layup or whatever, but he immediately licked his fingers. And I'm like, oh God, that's exactly why I shouldn't be here. Yep.
Well, good for you for manning up and standing up for what you believe in. It's good for you.
I appreciate that.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'd still be playing ball.
Yeah.
I'd be banging bodies. I'd be banging sweaty bodies with the best of them.
And everybody else is, I think. There were a few other guys that kind of had some concerns and everything, but everybody's playing. As a matter of fact, there's a new guy coming into the league to take my spot. So
now here's the thing. A lot of places are doing like my golf league. If you didn't want to play, if you didn't feel comfortable, your spot's still held for next year. So it wasn't like just because somebody's stepping in and maybe playing that wouldn't have played before this because they've got open. When there's an open spot, there's always 4 or 5 guys on a wait list to get into the league. So with your basketball, with you deciding I don't want to play, you're still good for next year, right? Like nobody's kicking you out of this thing for next year.
No, my very good friend is the person who runs this league. And we play. We are each other's fourth. So
I got you.
So we both play on each other's teams as well. So yeah, I coach with him and everything. So yeah, I have a spot next year.
You're good. You're good to go. That's how it should be. I totally feel like the people that hold it against you for not wanting to play, probably don't need to hang out with those people anyway.
No, yeah.
But at the same time, if somebody doesn't feel comfortable with it, come on, everything should just flow into next year. Because let's be honest, everything that's happening in sports this year, it doesn't count. Golf doesn't count. Baseball's not going to count because baseball's not going to count mostly because sounds like if you talk to Buster Only, they're not even ever going to finish the season. Buster Only, did you see this, Adam? Buster Only gives Major League Baseball a 5% chance of starting the season and a 0% chance of ending the season.
He's giving it a 5% chance, and tomorrow.
That's just a start.
Just to
They've
start.
already reported today. They reported today.
Right. Yep. And so they're going to start their second spring training or whatever, and in what, 3 weeks they're going to start games again. So they're going to start their 60-game season, and but there are a number of players and personnel on teams who have already tested positive, right? And at this point, if you test positive, it's probably not that big a deal because you can quarantine for 14 days or whatever, maybe even a little bit longer just to be safe. Do your test or 2 tests, because in the NBA they're going to, if you test positive, they require you to test negative twice to come back.
I know my wife's work told her when she took her test through, if she did it through UC Health, and for her, if her test comes back positive, she has to test negative twice.
Yep.
Before she can continue on.
Yep. Is Adam Silver her boss?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I think the guy's name is Uncle Cincinnati. It's UC Health. Uncle Cincinnati, I think, owns the hospital.
So okay, and that's what UC stands for. I got you. Okay, so Uncle Cincinnati. I love Uncle Cincinnati. It's my favorite uncle. All right, so you're right. So we have a bunch of people who have tested positive, but there are 4 guys so far who have chosen to, who have not tested positive, but have just chosen to not come back and play this season.
Right.
So we have one of those guys was a former Red, Mike Leake. I think he was the first one to say that he wasn't interested in coming back and playing. Now, I'm pulling up the list here. Yeah. So Mike Leake, who is with the Diamondbacks now, he's giving up about $5 million that he would make in this 60-game season, giving up $5 million. So that's a big decision, but maybe
Mike Leake's been in this league for a long time. He was a first-round draft pick that never made a start in the minor leagues. He came directly to the Reds when he was drafted. Mike Leake's been making money since 2007 or 8.
Right.
My man's been making good money as a first-round draft pick. So I feel confident in guys like that who have opinions like yours, are cool with it. They've got the money to back it up. They're not worried about it. Reset, come back next year, healthy, wealthy, and wise.
And another factor, and you're going to see this with another guy or two in the NBA as well, is he becomes a free agent after this season. So that's kind of another incentive. If you don't want to, in a shortened season where the risk is much higher of getting sick and, possibly getting a family member sick, because Mike Leake's probably fine if he gets sick, but he gives it to a family member or something who have a harder time with it, then that's a much, much bigger deal. So you give up that $5 million and you have an opportunity to then come back and sign with somebody else for maybe even a better contract or, just a different contract next year. So he was the first one. Ryan Zimmerman, longtime Washington Nationals. He decided to not come back, and he has 3 kids, including a newborn, and his wife is high risk. So good reason there for Ryan Zimmerman.
Yep.
Another Washington Nationals player, Joe Ross, he decided to forego. Now he makes about the major league minimum, which is $555,000 around there. And so by the way, Ryan Zimmerman would be giving up $740,000 for that 60-game season. Joe Ross would be giving up that minimum, that $555,000. 5,000. And then Ian Desmond.
Hold on. Ryan Zimmerman's given up what?
Ryan Zimmerman was only due to make 740,000 in the 60 game season for his
In the 60
prorated
game
salary.
season with prorated. So then the guy in the 60, so the league minimum guy is not making 500 some. He's making, what is league minimum for 60 games now?
Let's see.
I mean, it's only going to be 200 or 150, $200,000 maybe.
See, I don't know. I wonder if did they structure that differently though or something? Because this says, okay, I don't know. This says he gives up roughly the MLB minimum salary, $555,556 and 67 days service time. No, sorry. That's Joe. This is Joe Ross.
Because Ryan Zimmerman is making millions of dollars a year.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so maybe that.
Either way, who else opted out?
The last guy is Ian Desmond, for outfielder for the Rockies, and he's opting out for two reasons. He says the desire to be with his family because his wife is pregnant with their fifth child, by the way, 5.
You can't blame anybody who's got thoughts like that. That was Mike Trout was originally talking about stuff like that because his wife was pregnant. So anyway.
Yes. And he's also something that some of the NBA players have talked about possibly skipping the season because of the racial injustice theme that we've got going on at the same time as the coronavirus. Ian Desmond is very, very affected by what's going on with our with the race subject in the country right now. So he wants to take time. He wants to take this time to work on reviving youth baseball in his hometown and get more young people of color interested in baseball, because I think it's something like 8% of Major League Baseball players are black, I think.
Yeah.
So, and that's been a topic they've talked about almost every year for years and years and years. Everybody talks about trying to figure out ways to get that stuff figured out and get more kids, underprivileged kids, and kids of different races and different ethnic backgrounds and different socioeconomic backgrounds and stuff interested in baseball. So it sounds like he is interested in doing that, and also making sure he's taking care of his wife and his kids and not risking anything.
Ian Desmond said so many different things, right? He said there is racism, sexism, there's what do you call it, homophobia or whatever however he said it. There's so many things that happen. And we've heard about this for a long time now, for quite a few years in locker rooms, right? So the locker room vibe, the locker room, the locker room talk. There's always those things that get thrown out, and he put a lot of that into it, and a lot of it had to do with what you were just talking about the lack of black baseball players. There's just not a lot of African American, I shouldn't say black, just African American baseball players, because there's plenty of people from other countries that are of different ethnicities, right? I mean, it's probably most of Major League Baseball are from other countries now, it seems like. However, you remember a few years back, it's probably been about 10 years now, maybe even more than that, there was a Chicago Little League team, I think it was Chicago, but they got in all kinds of trouble and they lost their title. It was they won the Little League World Series and they were stripped of it because it come to find out they were taking players from everywhere else, from other places outside of their locale that they were supposed to pull from. Mm-hmm. And it comes down to the fact that to travel in any sport anymore, the AAU circuit in basketball, little kids playing baseball, it's so expensive to play on the better teams and travel, and that is what I think that is where I would like to see a lot of these players focus their money on. Let's get these kids. I think there's plenty of kids out there interested in baseball that just can't put the money out to play on different teams. There's a lot of teams out there that if you're good, if you're the best, they're gonna get you on that team. They're gonna pay for you to be on that team. But there's just a lot of regular kids that are on that team that could still be there that just can't put the money up. And I'd like to see these guys try to help that the lower levels, the 10, 12, 11, 10, 10, 11, 12, 13-year-olds, and put some money into those really good leagues to help to really, that's where you need to start bringing these kids up, not just building a ballpark for them somewhere and helping them in that way. Put some money into it to help these kids make the better teams, not make them, they can make the team, but they can't necessarily pay to play on that team because it's so expensive to play any kind of select sport at this. It's like golf. Golf is so expensive. If you want to be a good golfer, you got to play golf. And golf is not cheap to play or take lessons or any of that stuff. That's where I think a lot of this stuff needs to be focused into. I'd like to see that because then I would think you would see way more diversity brought up through the ranks from the bottom up through.
Yeah. Yeah, and it sounds like that's what Ian Desmond has in mind. And so it'll be interesting to see if he can figure out a way to do something different, like you're talking about, and figure out something that hasn't been done before. Because, like I said, we've talked about this, sports talk radio and just sports media, I should say, has been talking about this forever and ever and ever. And in different communities, definitely in the Cincinnati community, because the Reds are behind it, the Reds Community Fund is behind it. Like you said, building ballparks, especially in like lower income areas and stuff like that. And that's all great.
It's not enough. I mean, I shouldn't say it's not enough because everything helps, right? You can't have it to look at the Reds and say it's not enough to build these parks. That's not fair to them. They're putting a ton of money into that. That's being donated to them. It's not necessarily fair to say it's not enough, but maybe it's fair to say, how can we make it more? Because it's not just the ballparks. It's making sure that these kids are playing at the highest level they possibly can. You can take a bunch of kids and throw them on a baseball field or give them a baseball field to play on, but if they're not getting the best coaching and getting to play against the best competition, then what's the point?
That's what I was thinking as you were talking about that is, a lot of it comes down to instruction. Put the money into it like you're talking about. That's great. Put the money into building nicer ball fields for kids like that, and paying good coaches to go into different communities that might not be exposed to baseball very much. Pay coaches to go there and give good instruction. To have kids be able to go to baseball camps and stuff like that. And right. That's the way that they're going to get better. And that's the way, and as you get better at just about everything, you get better at something, you usually enjoy it more because it's a lot more fun when you're good at something.
Yes. Why do you love basketball? Because you've been good at it since we were kids. That's the reason you've loved basketball as long as you have loved basketball. People that are good at football, probably most of them love football because growing up they were good at it.
Yeah.
Baseball's the same way. Now there are people that love it without being good. I mean, I love all sports and I was terrible at all sports, but at the same time, that's what does it, right?
You're not terrible at all sports. Don't say that.
That depends on because my 9-year-old nephew might not agree with me, but I feel like anybody my age might.
Hey, you stole home 3 times, buddy. 3 times.
One season.
In one season.
Yeah. I might have been 5 years old, but.
No, weren't you like a freshman or a senior or something? You were in high school.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school.
In high school. See,
Sophomore high school.
that's when real ball is played now.
Hey, let me tell you this. What's funny about that? Stole home 3 times in one season. And at this moment in my life, I play softball with a bunch of grown men, most younger. However, 62-year-old, a few mid 50s to late 50s year olds, and I am the second slowest person on the team. It's not even close either. And the slowest guy has 2 fake knees, and he's 62 years old. So I don't know what happened to that. I don't. Of course, that was also 100 pounds ago, so might have something to do with it.
As long as you have fun. That's why I've lost 10 steps in the last 5 years playing basketball. I'm so much worse than I used to be. But in that 3-on-3 league that I was talking about, I am probably the maybe 4th oldest player out of, let's see, there are like 18, or no, there are like 10 teams, I think. There are
So say 4 on each team.
There are 12 teams, 4 on each. So out of 48 players in the league, I'm probably the 4th oldest player in that league. And most of the guys are in college. We've had a couple high school guys, and almost everybody in that league now played basketball in high school competitively, and or played basketball in college competitively. So that's how good it's getting.
You could have played in high school if you tried out. Once again, Adam was a little nervous. At least 1 or 2 years. At least 1 or 2. Yeah, at least 1 or 2 years. Just your shot alone. Adam Schmidt, we used to throw hula hoops out. Wherever the hula hoop landed, Adam had to take a shot. Money in the bank every time. Absolute money.
Thank you for throwing them all in the lane.
All right. Speaking of basketball, yeah. So they are having kind of the same thing. They're supposed to have their season get ready to get started. And old Doc Fauci said that out of all the things going on, that they have got the best idea on how to get it done with this bubble in Orlando and making things happen. However, even in the NBA and this bubble, which we talked a lot about 2 weeks ago, the bubble and what's going to happen with these guys in this bubble and how well the bubble will work with the other people that you're allowed to bring into your bubble. I just like saying bubble. So there are still players that number one have tested negative, but have decided not to play, just like in baseball. There's also quite a few players that have tested positive and are going to have to sit out for a couple weeks until their 2 negative tests come back.
Correct. Yeah. And some bigger name guys have either tested positive or have just decided to not come back. I mean, these are going to be impactful things if these guys do not come back and play. So guys of note who have tested positive. Now, number one, yesterday, they said that they have not been named yet, but 3 New Orleans Pelicans have tested positive. So if one of those is Zion Williamson, basically they decided that they're going to make the cutoff at 6 games out of the last spot in the playoffs to be invited into this thing so that Zion Williamson could play in this.
Yeah, let's be honest. This was 100%. That number was so Zion would make it.
Right.
And or Mr. White Privilege himself, JJ Redick, who told Zion Williamson in the very beginning, I've been to 13 straight playoffs. If I don't make it to the playoffs this year, I'm blaming you. I feel so bad for calling him Mr. White Privilege. That is not fair in any sense of the word. He is one of the most pure shooters I've ever seen in my life and deserves everything he has, including the fact that everybody hates him.
everybody hated him in college. I feel like a lot more people like him and respect him in the NBA. I
I
think he's
agree
really
because
changed the narrative for himself.
he's done a very good job of not being that nasty, that not being the dirty player in college, and just being a really good role player and a good team player,
Yeah.
because he's always averaging 3 or more assists and 3 or more threes a game. And as a role player, I take that every day of the week. So I apologize for saying what I said. Please, in 50 years, when this gets played back, because me and Adam are superstar podcasters, and everybody tries to, and the cancel culture is obviously not going anywhere, and they try to cancel us. I apologize. That was words spewing from my mouth at the wrong time.
Well, join the club on that, buddy. So besides the Pelicans, you had DeAndre Jordan and Spencer Dinwiddie both for the Nets, and then a while ago you had Kevin Durant, and you had 3 other unnamed teammates from the Nets. Now that was long enough ago. That was like in March, so those guys are all good now. But like almost the whole Nets team has had coronavirus now since you add DeAndre Jordan and Spencer Dinwiddie to that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's basically nobody left.
And so some of these guys, and that was just a
though,
couple of days ago. So some of these guys who are just now coming down with it, or just now testing positive, I should say, they still may choose to not come back and play. So not all these guys have decided whether they will or will not play. But Malcolm Brogdon for the Pacers, Jabari Parker for the Kings, Buddy Hield for the Kings, Alex Len for the Kings. The Kings are done. Nikola Jokic, who is the Nuggets' best player. I mean, that's a big one. That's a
hold
big
on,
one.
hold on. You know that you're going to have a lot of people that are going to disagree with you on that. Obviously, the Joker is one of my favorite players, and I think he's the best. But what about my Kentucky boy, the bow and arrow Kentucky boy for the
Jamal
Nuggets?
Murray?
He's right there with him, right?
No.
What's his name? Help me out.
Jamal Murray, right?
Jamal Murray. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No. He's not Jokic. He's a nice player, but he is not.
But
Jokic.
he's their second best. So he's their second best player.
He's their second best player, I'd say, probably. I like Will Barton too, and I like a couple other guys, but yeah.
The Joker's my favorite because there's nobody that looks like they should be worse at basketball, even while they're so good. He's making moves and playing well, and you still look at him and go, man, that dude sucks.
Did you see the picture of him in the last few weeks?
No.
So he slimmed way down. Like he lost a bunch of weight. And it wasn't because he was sick either. He did that by design.
I totally believe it. There's so many people doing this. I know you don't watch golf, right? You don't know anything about golf. Can you be honest with that?
A guy at work calls me DJ, like thinks my name is DJ now because he's called me that so many times because he thinks I look just like Dustin Johnson.
You'd have to wear a hat. DJ doesn't have the hair you have, but it's the beard. He's always got the beard going. Yeah, sure. I can see that. Totally see that. You got to wear really tight pants and hit shots. He hit a terrible shot out of the water the other day, even though he won. Anyway, so there's a guy, Bryson DeChambeau. Okay. He came on the scene probably 3-4 years ago and weighed $160, 6'1", 6'2", $160. This dude over the Corona time frame put on 30 or 40 pounds of muscle. He does not look at all like the same person. I feel like a lot of these athletes are either bulking up or slimming down, but I've seen a ton of pictures. CC Sabathia. Oh my God. Have you seen CC Sabathia?
No.
I can't believe the Yankees are not trying to get him out of retirement. He is chiseled, absolutely chiseled, old fatty. It's like it was almost like seeing if Bartolo Colon decided to lose weight. I didn't even know who this dude was. CC Sabathia is cut up. I'm telling you, everybody's
Wow.
taking this time. These guys that got the money to do it and have the at-home gyms to take care of themselves and still have the personal trainers that are coming to their house still, and part of their, their bubble and part of their quarantine lives are these people.
Yeah.
They're either bulking up, slimming down, cutting up, doing something. But I wish I was a professional athlete so I could get something like that. I am nowhere near that though.
And I'm looking up CC Sabathia weight loss right now.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, if you're listening to this podcast and you have not heard about what CC Sabathia did, CC Sabathia is chiseled. You got a picture of him?
I do.
Is it his cut up?
I don't know if this is gonna.
Look at that dude. Oh my God. That's not CC Sabathia. I mean, it is, but that's not the CC Sabathia we all know and love.
Because there's the side by side.
There's old big boy. There's my buddy. You almost can't see his belt because his belly's hanging over it. That's a David Wells. That's David Wells-esque in a Yankee uniform right there.
Man. Okay. I learned something new about CC Sabathia. But you're right. There have been several athletes that have taken the time to just get in crazy shape. James Harden, really pretty early on in the whole Corona thing, there was a picture of him running down a mountain with some friends or something like that. It looked like he slimmed down too.
I know I had seen something where he had like seven other guys with him, and they were just going all out during this break and getting in the absolute best shape that they could possibly be in.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but there are some, like baseball, there are some guys in the NBA who are not necessarily, have not been hit with the virus, that are just choosing that, saying it's best for me and my family or whatever my situation is right now to go ahead and stay away. I'm just going to wait until next season or whatever. And there are some pretty important pieces here. So Trevor Ariza for the Trailblazers is one guy, and he's been an important part of a lot of really good teams over the years because he's one of those. He's basically like a 3-and-D guy, right? He's always one of the better defensive players.
I hate that word 3-and-D or that term 3-and-D.
So do I.
But at the same time, I mean, honestly, that's what I feel like. There was a few guys that were 3-and-D-esque, and then that became a thing, and that's all people do now. They're like, all right, I got to become a great defender and shoot as many threes as I possibly can in practice and just do that.
Yeah. But he's actually, he cites a custody case that he's in the middle of for his son. So he's rather than going back and playing for the next couple months, he's trying to see his kids.
Man, that's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah. Let's see. Avery Bradley for the Lakers, who was starting games for the Lakers.
So the Avery Bradley thing is big because that brought J.R. Smith on.
Yeah, right.
So J.R. Smith is now getting another chance to possibly be on a championship team with LeBron James. Hopefully, in a tie game in crunch time, he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah, LeBron will mandate that. He'll make sure that.
Oh, there's no doubt. LeBron will walk over to him and give him a hug right before the free throws, the timeout before the free throws. He's just going to walk over, give him a hug, and just laugh at him and point at the bench and be like, nah, bro. No, that's where you belong. That's where you're going. Give me AD. Give me Dwight Howard. Did I hear Dwight Howard was not going to be playing, or is Dwight Howard playing? I thought I heard Dwight Howard.
I don't think he's made a decision yet. I think as far as everybody knows, he's playing, but it sounds like he's still up in the air about it.
I was because I thought I heard something about Dwight Howard possibly not being in.
Well, he was one of those guys, along with Avery Bradley and along with Kyrie Irving, talking about, how there were bigger things than this, and mostly referencing the racial injustice thing that we've got going on too.
Sure.
Those were the guys that were talking about, forming kind of a coalition and figuring out how to really use this platform to either use the platform correctly to shine light on that and to make some changes, or to say, you know what, that's basketball is going to be a distraction. That's kind of what they were saying. Basketball is going to be too much of a distraction. We need to keep everybody focused on this until it changes.
And, that's one thing, and we didn't talk about this pre-show or anything, but that's one thing that Adam Silver has been really good about, right? Yeah. Adam Silver has been really good about listening to his players, knowing when to allow them to do the things that they need to do and when to pull the reins a little bit and say, maybe not this right now. Yeah. But he's allowing them, and I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of red tape that's going to have to be gone through before you get something on the back of your jersey. But he's allowing them, instead of names, to have sayings or anything like that. So you'll probably get, on the back of your jersey, instead of James for LeBron James, it might say Black Lives Matter or something to that effect. And there's going to be a lot of stuff like that going on. And I think part of because Adam Silver's not stupid, right? Adam Silver knows if I need to keep my players interested in playing this year, I need to give them something to let them put out their where they feel they need to be right now. They feel they need to be on the front lines of this injustice. And I need to let them be there. But at the same time, I need them. Obviously, you need those players to make this league continue. So this year is what I'm talking about. So got to give it to him on that point. And I think him allowing little things like that, hopefully are what help some of these guys continue to play. But at the same time, I 100% understand it. I have no problem with it. If you don't want to play because you want to take this year and focus on racial injustice, focus on racial injustice, good for you. What's her name? Maya Moore. Is it Maya Moore? Who was the girl that retired a couple years ago? Best player. She won like back-to-back MVPs, 2 championships, and she retired a couple years ago because she had a family member who was incarcerated incorrectly or something like that, and she started this fight. I want to say it's Maya Moore. Started this fight during the prime of her life as probably the best player in the game, and went into and decided to just be to fight for racial injustice. That's what she decided to do. And so these guys realize they have a platform. This is their opportunity to do it. Good for them. But Adam Silver, good for him for realizing what he needs to do to keep this league going and keep the best players on the court.
Yeah. Yeah. So a couple other guys of note: Willie Cauley-Stein for the Mavericks. They're very much in it. His girlfriend is expecting a baby in July as well this month. So he decided not to join the team again. Wilson Chandler is another player that I didn't mention for the Nets. He decided to just, he said the well-being of his family, the health of his family comes first.
Have the D-League team playing?
What's that?
Are the Nets just going to have their D-League team playing?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. They're going to have to come up with a lot of creative signings, I think. Because, and actually DeAndre Jordan, since he tested positive, it says right here that he decided he is not going to I think DeAndre Jordan is not going to join. Spencer Dinwiddie is still uncertain. So
if you play for the Nets, and all these people are saying, well, I'm not playing, and then you get a couple guys test positive, you're at minimum 2 weeks out, and you are not good, right? You're already not good. Now you're even worse. Why? Why would you ever want to put yourself in a giant bubble for no reason at all?
If they were at full strength, including like Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, they're
a whole different story. They're
Right.
they're a top 4 team in the East.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. I mean, they've already those two, the two biggest guys are out, and then now like 3 or 4 other guys are not going to be there now either. So I agree. It just isn't. It just wouldn't be worth it. Just would not be worth it. Another interesting one is a guy who has not signed with a team because he was waived in February by the Lakers. He hasn't signed with another team yet, and it would be a pretty good opportunity for a team that needs a big in this short, little short time where you can work your way into the playoffs or work your way into a better position in the playoffs. DeMarcus Cousins. He was coming off that ACL, but it's been almost a year. So it's he could have a chance to come back and have a little bit of an impact at least on a team, but he decided
so big for him just to have just to play well. He doesn't have to have an impact. They don't have to win a game. Just to play well and show you can go out there for 7 straight games, which he couldn't do when he came back, for 7 straight games and just and be a good basketball player for to get yourself signed again for next year. I hope good things for him.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. I guess obviously the Nets are going to be the most affected team, but like you said, they weren't, because Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant were never going to play anyway. They probably weren't a serious, legitimate contender. So besides the Nets, I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe the Lakers with Avery Bradley missing, but, I guess you replaced him with J.R. Smith now. I don't know who really is the most impacted team by this, whether they're just opting out or they have a bunch of guys missing. I mean, I guess it is the Nets. I feel like they might not win a game.
Yeah, at all. The other thing though about that is you might get a lot of these. Is it D League or G League or whatever they call it now? Yeah, a lot of these G League guys may get an opportunity to come out and show face. And I'm going to tell you right now, you get young kids fresh. That we talked about this before the NBA season started. If you are into fantasy basketball of any kind,
mm-hmm.
in the beginning of an NBA season, to have young guys, it's important to have a good young set of role players on your team, because those young guys are going to be really good in the beginning of the year. And they always fade off because of how many games you play and the back-to-backs and everything like that. They fade off towards the end of the year. The veterans step up and take over. We've had a lot of time off. You're going to get some of these G League kids that are really going to step in, and I think you're going to see some really, really good basketball from some of these guys.
Yeah, that's been something that has been talked about, is the quality of the product with guys either not playing because they've been sick or not playing because they're just choosing not to play. We might see some not so great basketball, but I agree. It's interesting. It's at least interesting to me to see some of these guys that would give their lives for an opportunity that might get one now and are going to play their butts off. Whether they play great or not, they're going to just play their hearts out because this is their tryout,
But this isn't just an opportunity. This isn't just an opportunity to play in the NBA. This is an opportunity to play playoff, meaningful basketball.
Yeah.
That's way different than just getting in a game, 42 in the middle of the season and, getting called up on a 10-day contract and playing game 42 through 52 and getting in 5 of them for 5 minutes a game. No, this is the playoffs. These games matter. There will be a trophy handed out at the end of this, whether people think there should be an asterisk next to it or not. There's going to be an NBA Finals winner, and it will go down in history as an NBA Finals championship. And you are giving a lot of young kids an opportunity to play very, very, very meaningful basketball games.
I agree with all of that, except for there might be an NBA Finals winner. They might crown a champion because they might not.
They may know. You're right, because Adam Silver's already said if there's an outbreak, he can't guarantee the season's going to finish. And it's just
Right.
like the whole thing with Buster Olney in Major League Baseball. And Major League Baseball is even worse because you've got teams flying from city to city. There are no restrictions on what these teams do once the game is over. I understand where Buster Olney's coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In his 0% chance of finishing the season. I definitely think they'll start it, but I'm with him on that. But dude, we've said it so many times. We are in a moment in our lives where I would never believe anything that anybody would be telling me about this. But that's been going on for so long that I'm done. I totally believe. You tell me something's possible, I'm going to be like, yep, sure. You tell me that J.P. McCura, former Xavier basketball player, is going to be the MVP of the 2020 NBA Finals, and I'd be like, sure, why not? At this point in time, who knows? Sure, I'll give it to you.
Man, we don't have time to talk about this tonight, but I saw you responded to a post that somebody posted for the top 10 all-time Xavier basketball players, and I want to talk to you about that. It's not going to happen tonight, but I want to talk to you about that because I have my opinion, and you're a 10. I feel like a Xavier basketball fan, but you are 1,000 times a bigger Xavier basketball fan, and you know way more about the history and everybody's, all the players and all their strengths and weaknesses and all that kind of stuff way better than I do. And I even felt like, I'm like, wait a minute, that guy can't be there. What about this guy? He's not even on the list. I'm already starting to do that. And I'm like, Chris is going nuts about this thing. I know he is.
It wasn't a terrible list. It wasn't
a terrible list.
It wasn't terrible.
No.
10, it was 1 through 10, and 10 was not number 10. I'm just going to say that.
Okay.
XU Barstool, I think it was XU Barstool Sports. XU Barstool is who put it out there, I want to say. And 10, here's the deal. Barstool's got a bunch of young people taking over all their podcasts and their social media, and they're giving every single college their own Barstool person to be in charge of their tweeters and everything like that. And it's I get this all the time. Xavier for so many years, I know you didn't want to get into this, and I'm going to make it quick. Xavier for so many years was a mid-major. We were a mid-major. We were very good mid-major for a very long time. We're now in a major program, so can take us out of that mid-major at this point in time. But for a long time, we weren't there. And if you lived in the city of Cincinnati, you weren't a Xavier fan. You were a UC fan because even though they were in a mid-major conference, they were a major basketball team. Bob Huggins had them they were studs. They were number 1 in the country a few times, always top 10. They're very good. So you were a UC fan. Xavier got better, way more fans. Their attendance, their school attendance skyrocketed in the late 90s, early 2000s. Those are the people that don't know how good some of the mid-90s to late 90s players were. Some of the Skip Prosser years were some of the best players that ever came through Xavier, and to have Romain Sato at number 10 on that list is ridiculous, strictly for the fact that he spoke 9 languages.
That gets him in the top 5 easy.
He can't be below 9 if he can speak 9 languages. You can't be any lower than that.
That's funny. All right. Well, we should talk more about that like this weekend or something like that because I would love to go through that list with you with more time. Now, we kind of circled back quickly to baseball and then jumped back into basketball just now, but I'm glad that you mentioned baseball again one more time because there was one thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah.
Baseball and Corona related stuff. And you just mentioned when, that they're going to be flying all over the place and all that kind of stuff. Now they did change the schedule so that you're only playing, National League teams are only playing American League teams from their region, right? So.
All right. So you're still flying from city to city every week?
You still are. You still are. You're just flying to Detroit instead of Oakland or something like that.
Okay, well, once you're in the plane, however far you go means zero. Just telling you. You're going to end up in a city, and then you have no restrictions on what you can or cannot do once you land in that city. So I'll be 100% honest with you. That means nothing.
Yeah.
All that does is cut down on costs for the owners. That's all it does.
Well, yeah, and I think that's the idea. Well,
but it doesn't mean anything for the Corona side of
things. I think it was more about It was more about getting more games in a compact time.
Sure.
Yeah. So you don't have to spend as much time traveling, right? But so I mentioned Oakland specifically because Oakland is doing a thing that. Now, apparently, I think the Giants are doing something similar, and it's been done in Korea and Japan as well in the last few months. But Oakland is selling cardboard cutouts of you. Okay, so you can buy a cardboard cutout of yourself. Send them a picture. They make a cardboard cutout of you and sit it in the stands in Oakland Stadium. And
what?
So
how long is that? Do I get two questions? Two questions. Number one, depending on how much I pay, does that depend on where my cardboard cutout is? Number two, I have three questions. Number two, am I guaranteed TV time for my cardboard cutout if I pay $4 and get a $5, bleacher seat all the way at the top? Am I guaranteed to be on TV at least once? And number three, do I get the cardboard cutout once the season is over?
I have answers for all of those. Yes. I believe it depends on where you're seated, how much you want to pay, basically, where you sit. By the way, they will have cardboard cutouts of some celebrities and some former greats, some former Oakland A greats, and you could sit next to those people. Your cardboard could be next to their cardboard.
Talk about himself.
Yeah, you could sit there and have a conversation. Your cardboard cutout could have a conversation with Reggie Jackson's cardboard cutout about how good he was, because you're sitting right next to each other.
Wow. Talk to Jose Canseco or any of those guys.
Yeah. Talk to Jose Canseco about how he gave up a home run off his head. So yes, you can. So you can pay, I think, extra for that kind of stuff. You are not guaranteed TV time, but there is a very special incentive. So if a foul ball hits your cardboard cutout, the Oakland A's will mail you that ball. Is that cool? That's the coolest thing I've ever heard.
I need to know how much it is. I'm buying one.
I'm
buying one.
I'll buy one too.
I'm getting on the phone right now. I'm gonna figure it out.
So your third question was,
do I get the cardboard cutout at the end of the season?
And that is a yes as well. Yes.
Okay, it's cardboard.
Pick up your cardboard
what about
cutout.
Rain? What when they have rain? And that we all know what cardboard does in the rain.
Right. Yeah. I don't know.
It's got a coating on it. I'm sure it's got a coating on it.
Yeah, they don't have a dome on that, right? They don't have a retractable roof.
No.
So, well, unless they take them all back up and reset them all out. Maybe it depends on how many they end up selling.
I got an A's hat. You have an A's hat. I think we need to get pictures with our A's hat and our Nosebleed Sports Podcast T-shirts, and we need cardboard cutouts.
That's what they said. They want you to send pictures in with you wearing A's gear.
I'm in.
So that it looks like a real game, right?
Yeah.
And then we already heard about there might be some places that pipe in that there's an app or something that pipes in crowd noise or something like that. So
yeah. Yep.
That could be a real thing, man. You go play at Oakland, that's going to be the toughest place to play in baseball now.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is happening. Listen, We got these sponsors that have been at the front of our show for months now. We're gonna have to collect on some of this money and get ourselves some Nosebleed Sports cutout shirts. Cardboard cutouts. Cutouts are $49 each for A's Access members or $89 each for general fans. Or $129 for a foul ball zone cutout.
That's right. That's right.
$30. It's already gone. I've already spent it. $130 is already gone.
I forgot about that part. It is only in certain zones. So yes, you do have to pay for whatever.
I'm already down $130. Adam, I need you here. I need you because we got to take full body pictures, right?
I don't know.
No, it looks like chest up.
It's like a bust.
On the app. Yeah, you guys got to go to MLB.com. It's MLB.com/athletics/fans/explode experiences/cutouts.
Wow. That's a lot of slashes. I wish they would slash the prices a little bit.
I hear you. That's all right. No, it's done. It's done. If anybody has Major League Baseball's app with their MLB TV or anything like that, watch the Oakland A's this year. You will see at least one Oakland A's hat with a Nosebleed Sports Podcast shirt. At least one.
All right. It'll be one. It'll only be one.
Oh, I'm paying for yours too. Screw it.
No way. I can't pay that much. That first number you said, I was like, oh, really? That's not too bad. And then you were like, now the next tier is 89, yeah. And then the tier after that.
The minimum we could pay, because we're not Oakland A's Access members, would be $89. But I need a foul ball. If I can get a foul ball, I'm getting a foul ball.
That's the only reason to do it.
Buy your Coliseum cutout. I just clicked the button. Just got to go find my Nosebleed shirt and my A's hat. We're good to go.
Now, 2 weeks ago when we were doing this podcast, your wife could hear you from upstairs when you were talking about the microwave thing. I hope she can't hear you talking about.
She's asleep.
$139 on a cardboard cutout.
She's asleep. We're good. She's asleep. We're good.
All right. Well, look, that brings me to Oakland it might as well be another country from here.
Far away from it is from us. It might as well be the Philippines.
Might as well be the Philippines, which is exactly where Jo Koy is from, who is the comedian that we watched this week, and a special called In His Elements. Now, he just had a Netflix special last year, but he just released another new one this year, In His Elements, just a few weeks ago. And we talked about doing that one. So we did. And it wasn't quite what either one of us expected, right?
Not even a little bit.
So then give me your opinion on it. I mean,
so for anybody that has not seen it, Jo Koy's special In His Element, this is a special that he did. It's a lifelong dream of his to go back to his homeland, the motherland for him, the Philippines, and do a comedy special. However, he doesn't do just a comedy special. He does a couple little bits, and then he brings on 3 comedians to do bits, all Filipino. It's an all Filipino thing. Yeah. He's got a DJ, he's got a break dancer, he's got food, he's got little bits. It's an hour of Filipino everything.
Culture. Yeah.
Culture. There you go. Culture. It is cool. I'm going to tell you right now, it's cool. I did enjoy it. I love dancing, and the dancing was awesome. I love DJs. The DJ Ilman or whatever his name was,
or something like that. Yeah.
He was good. Just to see the way that stuff goes together. The other comedians were okay. I would have liked to see more Jo Koy. The Jo Koy stuff he did was pretty good. I liked the couple bits that he did. The grandma thing with his his name's not Jo Koy. It's Joe Gerald Herbert or something like that.
Oh, it's Joseph Glenn Herbert.
Joseph Glenn Herbert. So it's not his name, but the whole thing about how his mom, or he thought his aunt was calling him Jo Koy, but she was saying my Joe in whatever language that it is. There's, what was it, 70 islands in the Philippines and 180 languages, or he was talking about it. Anyway, Jo Koy's bits were good. The other comedians he brought on were okay. I really wanted a full Jo Koy special, because I've seen really good Jo Koy specials and I've seen some Jo Koy specials that were okay.
Yeah.
Considering this was not at all what I thought it was, I'm going to go with like just middle of the road. Whatever in the middle is, because I forgot what I call the middle now. What I call the middle 2.5? I think that's what I call the middle. What do you call the middle?
Yeah, I think you called the middle 3, and I called it 2.5.
Okay, I'm going to call it 3. All right, I give it a flat 3 because I can't tell you it was bad. There wasn't anything bad about it.
Yeah.
It was good. All the bits were good. The singer at the end, he was a very good singer, even though it was being lip synced the whole time. The singer was good. The other comedians were pretty good. Jo Koy was funny. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm just gonna go right in the middle. Give it a 3.
Okay. I agree with almost all of that. The dance part, the first part was kind of the dance thing. His friend for 20 years. That was it was b-boy dancing. I don't know where that comes from, but
that's the old 80s. That's an old early 80s thing. B-boy dancing.
Like, yeah, it's break dancing, basically. Yeah. So that was good.
Oh, real quick. Yeah. Did you know there was going to be break dancing in the 2024 Olympics?
No.
Or the 2021 Olympics, I guess. Maybe it's this Olympics. When's it in Paris?
Was that the one that was supposed to be this summer? That's going to be next summer now?
The 2020 Olympics. The 2021 Olympics, this dude, there's going to be breakdancing in the Olympics.
Huh.
He said that guy was representing the United States in breakdancing in the Olympics. That right there blew my mind.
That's interesting. Okay. So maybe we'll see that dude. Well, you will, because you'll watch the Olympics. I won't.
And if breakdancing is in the Olympics, holy cow. That breakdancing in the Summer Olympics is 100% the same as ice shuffleboard is in the Winter Olympics.
Ice shuffleboard. I don't know. I'd be a little more interested in watching the breakdancing, I think.
What's that called? Skiffing? What called?
Where you brush the thing and you slide the thing, you brush it. Oh my gosh.
I know. I feel the same way.
Anyway, I'll think.
They've got leagues. Everybody knows what we're talking about. Ice shuffleboard with brooms.
Okay, so the part where he met the one dude. I think it was the last comedian, and they went to this little market thing and ate, or this restaurant.
Take a bite.
Oh, so weird.
Eat out of his hand.
That was so weird. That was weird and very gross. But what was even more disgusting to me was they had all these booths set up wherever they went to that little market thing or whatever, and there was just like tons of meat hanging there at these booths. Just
Have you ever been to Findlay Market?
Yeah, but they have like little cold cases and stuff like that. Like, this is just flat out meat that was just hanging in the middle of the air. That was, it was just room temperature meat.
What?
Not cooked.
That's as fresh as it gets. That is as fresh as it gets.
And you better eat it and get it cooked up right now.
Or freeze it, or get it home and freeze it. But most of those
It
places
should be frozen now.
most places like that in those kind of countries, you buy your dinner every day. You go to the market in the morning, you get lunch and dinner, and you come home and you cook everything up that day. And then you go to the market the next morning and you do it all again.
That would work out best for me. That way I don't waste as much food.
Dude, I'm a waste. When it comes to food waste, tell me how you are with leftovers?
Swipe left, easy. Easy swipe left. I never do leftovers.
Have we ever swiped right, swipe left to leftovers before?
I
Have we
feel
ever
like
done that?
I don't know. I feel like we had to have, but I don't remember that.
Because I feel like if we did, we both agree that swipe left. There's no point. We, like, at the end of a meal, we'll be like, hey, we need a box. Yeah, I always look at my wife and I go, why?
Yeah.
Why do we need a box? Unless you're taking that to work for dinner or for lunch tomorrow, I'm going to throw it away next Wednesday when we have our next garbage night.
Right. Yeah, same for me. I do not do leftovers. The quality of the food just goes down. I feel like it's just not the same. It's not going to be.
There are certain things that are okay as leftovers, as long as you have a toaster oven. Most things microwaved, yeah. Ugh. We're not getting into the microwave thing again.
No.
We have way too many people on my side of the microwave argument. But from last week. But the toaster oven, there are certain things that I'll do pizza. I'll do leftover pizza in a toaster oven. I'm good with that.
That's funny. I just did leftover pizza on Sunday.
Was it in a toaster oven?
I don't regular oven.
Oh, well, that's same difference.
Right.
Like if I didn't have a toaster oven, the only way I would heat pizza back up is in an oven.
Yeah.
Not in a microwave.
Microwave.
I don't want rubber crust. Yeah. I don't like the crust anyway, but if I'm going to eat it, I need crispy crust.
Yes, sir. I hear that. I hear it. All right. Well, for me, yeah, you had like you said, you had the Filipino Justin Bieber there at the end. I thought the
held on to that you had that written down, didn't you? You held on to that and had it written down. Filipino Justin Bieber. That was good. That was good.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh yeah, Filipino Justin Bieber, baby. If you're on the YouTube right now, you can see that Adam had Filipino Justin Bieber written down. That was good. And it was well played, nonchalant, very well played.
As soon as that song started, I'm like, this dude sounds like him. This is the exact style of song Justin Bieber does. Like everything about that dude.
Is it weird that everything in English didn't have subtitles, but everything they did in Filipino language, whatever, had subtitles? But then when that dude was singing, it was all subtitled, but he was singing in English.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I think I was like, oh, geez, this is not even going to be good. So maybe I didn't pay close attention to it. But anyway, that was Joe. The little bit, I agree with you that for thinking that this was going to be a stand-up special, there was very little stand-up comedy from Jo Koy in this.
Very little.
And the first two comedians that he brought on, I didn't think were very good, to be honest with you.
The first guy was terrible. Second guy was okay. He said he was at his 30th year reunion. Didn't believe that because that dude is not older than 40, much less 58.
He looked way younger than
48.
me.
Yeah. 30-year reunion. What are you talking about, Jack? Anyway, the third guy I think was the best, even though he didn't go over very well with the crowd.
Yeah, I thought he was the funniest one. I thought he was funnier than Jo Koy. I didn't think the stuff Jo Koy did was that funny.
I thought Jo Koy was funny. I thought that third dude, I feel like he could be good, but he was jumping over himself too quick. Like he would say something and then be like, no. Or like, he was, I don't even know how to explain it. But he was he was correcting. He didn't let his joke linger at all before he jumped back over top of it and pulled it back.
Gotcha.
He said some really off-color, funny stuff.
Yeah.
It needed to sit. It needed to sit, and he didn't let it sit. I think and he even said beforehand how nervous he was about the whole deal anyway. And then Jo Koy tried to make him eat some kind of chicken tikka masala out of his fingers or something like that.
Chicken tikka masala. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say it's so hard to rate this because it's not necessarily about being funny. It was like and I agree with that part that you said too. It was a really cool idea. It was a cool idea. You can tell he's so proud of the culture that he comes from, and I just thought that was really cool. I can relate to that. I take pride in being from where I'm from and being into the things that the things that I was into growing up, and we talk about that stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So that part was really cool, but it just overall wasn't very funny to me. So it's hard to rate, but I'll take a page out of your book and I'll go my middle and say 2.5.
I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, to wrap this bad boy up, next week, is it my turn or your turn? Whose turn is it to pick?
I think you picked Jo Koy.
Did I pick Jo Koy? Okay. Yeah. So then you're up.
Because
George Lopez has got a new one. Eric Andre's got a new one.
I had both of those written down.
Okay. So who else? We still haven't done. Okay. So Floor is Lava is a new Netflix deal out there, which we all played. Floor is Lava, by the way, already finished the season. Phenomenal. Yes.
It's a game show, isn't it?
I have a 7-year-old, so I 100% finished Floor is Lava.
Okay. It's a game show.
Game play at our house.
What's that?
So what are you gonna do? What?
Okay.
What's that?
Sorry, is it a game show?
It's a game show. You got to get from one side to the other. You got to get all your people over there. And you got times and against other people and
without touching the floor.
And the floor is lava. So.
Oh, okay.
My son actually truly believed it really was lava. And then when the first person fell in, they don't show them, like they show them falling into this watery, orange, bubbly stuff, but they never show them come out and out. They just like wave their hands and sink under the water. And I was like, okay, just to tell you, they're not dead. That person's gone. They show them at the end of the episode. They show everybody. So
they show their skeleton.
Yeah. So it's not just some burned up crisp corpse of lava. But yeah, when it first happened, I was like, ooh, just kidding. That's really not lava.
Okay. So I wrote, I think it's 7. I wrote 6 people down. 3 of them are from 2020. 3 of them are from 2019, these specials on Netflix. So you already said George Lopez, Eric Andre, and the other one from 2020, I'm pretty sure was Taylor Tomlinson, which we still haven't watched and we've talked about several times, possibly watching. The ones from just last year are Nate Bargatze, Wanda Sykes, and Amy Schumer. They all had 2019 specials. I don't know. I know that I've seen the Nate Bargatze one, and it's really funny to me. But George Lopez, brand new one. Eric Andre is a crazy, crazy, weird dude.
That dude is. So here's the deal. No matter what you pick this week, I'm picking Eric Andre's next week.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna leave it up to you. I'm good with all of those. I'm gonna tell you right now that the last couple Amy Schumers have bummed me out.
I agree. I think I didn't watch this one though.
I have not watched the new one because the last 2
weren't as good.
They just weren't as good. Wanda Sykes is always funny. That chick is hilarious. Um, Amy Schumer, her early stuff was as funny as anything gets. Maybe she got back there. I'm good with whatever you want to do.
Okay, then I would like to do the Nate Bargatze one.
I'm good with that because I have not seen it and I've heard it's funny. So I've got a little bit of preconceived notions going into it, but that's all right.
It's called Tennessee Kid.
Tennessee Kid. That's Netflix, right?
That's Netflix. Yes, sir. Yes,
Tennessee.
sir. That'll be so that'll be next week. And
yeah. My test should be back by then.
Your test will be back. So next week we will talk Chris's test. We will hopefully talk about my antibody test. I'll have that by then.
Here's the deal. I'm gonna let them leave a voicemail. They said they're calling no matter what. I'm gonna let them leave a voicemail. I'm holding off. We're gonna listen to it together on the podcast.
Wow, that would be crazy.
No, but I'm totally gonna let my wife tell me what she got tested positive or negative. So I've got an idea at least.
Oh man. All right. So that's what we have, and then we'll be 1 week closer to possibly starting the baseball season and possibly starting the NBA season. We'll see if anything changes there. We'll see if all the spikes that have gone up the last week or two have leveled out or gotten worse or gotten better, or what's going on. See if anything changes. Talking about possibly reclosing some stuff. I know of one business locally that has decided to reclose for a little while. So I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. It's still a big old mess. But
yep, there's still a whole lot of corona out there, and for all you people out there, pay attention to the CDC. I trust that way more than I trust all these news organizations, because if you ever look at any of the numbers, they're usually not even close to each other from everywhere to the CDC. Pay attention to what them people say. I feel like the CDC's probably got the most logical numbers. And I don't even know what else to say except for don't forget to turn your headlights on.